Shalom. All praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. I'm going to get on this video about microchip, RFID microchips, on how if you take this, you are damned, and you're going to be thrown into the lake of fire.
Alright, get everything opened up here, and then we'll start the procedure.
And for the record, in terms of a pain scale, if you can compare it to something.
Probably more like a bee sting.
The latest office innovation is a microchip implanted in the skin.
This is the first American company to ever try this.
So what are they tracking, and would you say yes if your boss asked you to do the same?
So if my employer wanted to microchip me as if I was their puppy, I would have a huge problem with it, and I would probably quit.
You could argue that the government is tracking you everywhere you go, but they are already with your phones.
Yeah, it just seems a bit permanent. If you already have an Apple Watch you're wearing around, at least you can take that off at some point. Not something I would do.
I think it's a great idea, and I think it would make it all a lot easier. I just think that you have to back it up with maybe some doctors saying it's good for your health, and then I think I would do it.
Three Square Market is a company working on one of the biotech advances at the forefront, implantable RFID or radio frequency ID microchips. The tech has been around for decades, used to track pets, packages, and livestock, but now the Wisconsin-based company is trying to make the implants mainstream. Even with all the risks and unknowns associated with this technology, I was really curious what it'd be like to have an implant. So I traveled to Wisconsin to get chipped, thinking, what's the worst that could happen? The chip is coming out at the end of the day. And the RFID chip is already inside there.
Yes.
And it's a little bit larger than a grain of rice.
Correct.
Jasmine rice, I think.
Basmati.
That's Andy Whitehead, better known as Gonzo. He's a local body piercer with 17 years of experience who was brought in to implant the microchips. I was slightly nervous about having the microchip inserted inside my body, given the size of the needle, and also nervous about what it could potentially mean for me, but here we go.
Why don't you take a nice big deep breath in, and exhale, release. Yeah, there we go.
It's in there.
It's in there. Pretty quick and easy.
I feel like a cyborg.
Here you go, you're a proud member now.
This is Revelation chapter 13, 16, and 17. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name or of the beast or the number of his name. So this Edomite devil is going to try to get everybody on the planet chipped like this dummy. And only if the Spirit of the Lord is with you will you not get chipped. Because as you're going to see in these next scriptures, they're going to kill you. So you got to have the Spirit of the Lord with you.
Abe, part of the club. Just like that, I was part of a small group of people on Earth pushing the boundaries of what it means to be human. And within minutes, I was meeting with their tech team to get my chip programmed. I guess what you're saying, to sort of put it in layman's terms, if I wouldn't need to take this out until we live in that futuristic world where everything's wireless, cash is gone, autonomous vehicles take us everywhere, and I'm just beeping my way through my day.
Really, probably you'd never have to take it out, and this is what we think is going to propel us into that next stage in life, the cashless society like they're doing overseas already. This would facilitate that because you wouldn't need to carry any cards or cash. Everything would literally be stored on the chip.
There is no GPS tracker in the chip, which was really good to know. And the applications for it were actually pretty sweet. I could now open doors, fire off texts, forget all of my passwords, and even make credit card payments. I started to wonder, is it worth getting this thing removed?
And what I'll do is I'll set yours up so that I can make a phone call off of it right now.
Success. Stuck in this internal debate about
Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, this man just received that mark. the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh Shai. The ones that keep the patience and the faith are the ones that will not accept this. This dumbass, and he's bald, he's breaking another commandment. He's going to die in that lake of fire. But he's too stupid to know. And this Edomite just led him right into it. I don't know if this is a Jake or not, but he's a dumb idiot.
Whether to keep the chip, I thought I'd talk to some employees to get their take. One who has the chip and another who opted out.
You know, I wasn't opposed to it, but they had so many people that wanted the chip that I felt I would just wait for a few months and see how everybody reacted to it, if anybody got sick from it, anybody got infections, any of that stuff. And it's everybody that has gotten one has been just doing just fine on it.
You got.
As he said, he was waiting to see if anybody got sick. But what he don't understand, it's going to be in the future when the Lord sends his angel to pour out this vial. It's in Revelation chapter 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisium. The brother looked this up. It's like a flesh-eating on where that chip is. And grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
Except on your very first day, I guess the number one question I have is why? Why did you feel you had to do it besides seeing everyone else?
So I found out through social media that the company that I was moving from Colorado to come to Wisconsin to work was optionally microchipping their employees. It sounds really futuristic and bizarre. And at first I wasn't going to do it.
And how much information did you have? Did you know that you could open doors? Sure, but how much information do you have about the chip in general?
All of the questions that the news were asking, all the questions the employees were asking, all the right questions, the nitty-gritty questions were there. So I knew what it was made of, I knew what it could do, what it could do in the future. I was well educated before getting a microchip in my hand.
They offered to take it out at the end of the day, and I was like, absolutely don't want this thing in my body longer than it needs to be. And I'm kind of having second thoughts. I think it might be fun to play around with it some more. I don't know, I'm having some thoughts, some inner conflicts about whether to keep it in or take it out. Upon application, there's a risk of infection, but beyond that, are there any downsides to having an RFID chip implanted anywhere in your body?
This is an approved device. There's been nothing that has come out since 2004 that has done anything to change the FDA's stance on it.
Well, for one thing, I'm not sure it's been conclusive whether or not these are safe for the human body. I know the FDA approved them years and years ago, but I think long term is sort of when we find these things out.
That's Michelle Demoy. She researches how new technology could impact personal privacy. Along with health complications, I was also concerned about the security of the chip itself. Just how safe was my personal information on the chip? And was it safer there in my hand than in my wallet or phone?
What ends up happening in a lot of situations with technology, and you can even point to any of the major tech companies that you interact with on a daily basis, they start off wanting data for one reason and end up using it for many other reasons. And so that switch of what your expectations are, is a little different when you are using a device or service where you ostensibly have an ability to walk away from it. And when you have something implanted in your body, of course, that removes that ability.
This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh our power, who judgeth her. Oh, Yahweh. And that's America. She's going to be utterly burned Utterly means totally. Totally burned with fire. For strong is Yahweh, power who judgeth her.
34 billion avenues exist for your information to travel down every single day. Everything you do, whether you're checking Facebook, checking out at the supermarket, driving your car, anything, your information's everywhere.
Say I was sitting at a booth at a diner, because it doesn't have to be a line of sight read. You know, it could go through a Band-Aid and potentially through a box or something thicker. Say someone was hoping to steal someone's identity, they're just scanning randomly in a restaurant. Could they pick up my information?
Is anything unhackable? That's a stupid word. There's a reason why it's not in the dictionary. If you take the RFID chip that's now on every credit and debit card in this country and in the world, you have more problems with that, because the reality is this, the thing that's in your hand has a 256-bit encrypted password that get into it. It's significantly harder to try to take anything off of this than that card that's sitting in your wallet right now.
Well, I think one thing that people forget is as technology gets more and more sophisticated and evolves, the technologies to break it also evolve and get more sophisticated.
And for the moment, am I okay?
I would say that you're okay. I would say you might want to think about not, whether the long-term use of it puts you at a higher risk than the benefit that you're getting. You might have a curiosity as a journalist and want to kind of see how this works. But I think beyond that, if there's no benefit to you, I would say take it out.
Even though there are a lot of lingering...
One last one. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. And what that's talking about is you don't take this chip unto death, you're going to get a crown of life. And you're going to reign with Hamashiach. And the ones that killed you, you're going to be able to kill multiple times. You're going to be able to torture them for 1,000 years. So this little torture they give you, or even if they chop your head off, you're going to be able to do 10,000 times to them. With that, I want to say shalom to the elect.